Hey everyone, Criticaster here, and this week we have gotten a new enemy type called Ancient Enemies for New Genesis. They're a new endgame activity for the Caveris region, which definitely comes with some added difficulty. Today I'll give you all of the information I know about these enemies, and kind of how you can encounter them yourself. So first off, these enemies only show up in the Raged Gorge currently, in the Caveris region, so that means you want to be level 60 and have some decent battle power. The Gorge recommends 29, 24, but others, including myself, did just fine in like 2600 some battle power, or like 2700 some. But the most important thing going into this Gorge is to have 100% low temperature resistance. This is so you don't take the Gorge's damage over time and like the freezing over time. I explained this process in my How to Survive Raged Gorge video if you're unsure on how to do that. But once you're prepared, the Ancients actually always spawn in a cave towards the center of the Gorge. So this is what the cave looks like here. It's kind of like just past this bridge that's like right up above in the center, and then you just kind of run inside. So once inside, you might find something that looks kind of like an egg or a big mineral. This is where the Ancients kind of like hide inside. You have to actually attack this to kind of crack it open. But these show up every 11 minutes after a room is made, or 11 minutes after a previous Ancient has been killed in the same room. But as you can see here, I have like nobody with me. There's only one other person in this room. You definitely want to have quite a few others, maybe even like a full room, as this is quite the difficult fight, kind of like a Gigantics. But in the cave itself, you might notice that there's like a debuff, this like Rusta sign with the down arrow. Basically, this means that your Rusta healing is decreased by 50% while you are in here. And then also, during the boss fight, mobs can appear. So you definitely don't want to be alone for that. Yeah, as I've said before, this is basically like a Gigantics, just a little bit more powerful. So I kind of like treat it just the same as you would fighting those. Because the Ancients do one-shot most players' builds and are more, if not just as tanky as them as well. It'll take around 8 to 10 minutes to kill the boss, and once you do, you'll get an exclusive drop along with some other items. So you will always get what are called icicle cubes, which is a material used for crafting decold standard 3s or the new 7-star Khazar weapons in the exchange shop. You also get these decold standard 2s, which you can use for these decold standard 3s as well. And then you'll also get a boss soul, depending on if you faced a Frostal or an AMS. Which, those two bosses are the only two bosses that currently spawn as an Ancient. But for the more rare drops, you can also get the 6-star Rocks weapon series, or even the 7-star Rugged series if you're insanely lucky. That's it for the loot, but there are a few tips that I have if you plan on farming these Ancients. For the first one, after each fight, most of the time you'll have used some, if not all, of your Rest Assign or Reverse Assign. These are quite scarce in the Gorge. The strat that my group uses a lot is to go to any of the cocoons on the map in Caveris, such as like Wild Avalanche, for instance. And then once inside, you can just pick up all of the Rest Assign or Reverse Assign that you need to get up to max. And then you can just abandon the quest by doing that in the task menu. And then once you're outside, you can just teleport straight back into the Gorge, or you can even run from here to the cave, because that's almost like a shorter distance. And then for the second one, when you are searching for rooms in the Gorge, you can actually sort by vacancy and then turn the same sector on, so you can find kind of like the rooms that are more full. This is kind of like where you want to tend to the most. But like I said before, these Ancients kind of spawn like how veterans do, so they spawn 11 minutes after a room has been made. So if you find a room that's kind of close to the 11-minute time, such as this 15-minute one, you can actually go there and be basically guaranteed an Ancient will be there. And when you are transferring into these rooms, you can kind of tell when an Ancient has been like engaged, so like broken out of their egg, if these crystals are red instead of blue, which one is right outside this Ryuker teleporter. So for the last one here, we have an additional method for getting rooms. You can use the password system if you have like a decent amount of people. like in a good sized group. Basically, you want to have two separate players go into two unique password rooms to set up like banana 1, for instance, and somebody else would be banana 2. So once an ancient spawns in one of those rooms, like after 11 minutes, then have your entire group of up to 32 people, except the person holding the other banana room. This is where you guys fight the one that's in there, and once killed, you guys can restock using like that cocoon method, and then you all use the other password except for the other person that was holding the first room. So this kind of ensures that there is very little downtime between fights. Just have to find people willing to hold these rooms alone, as those two will miss out on half of the ancient kills. Hopefully this taught you guys everything you needed to know about the ancient enemies and how to farm them. If you ever want to check out my Twitch, we're going to be actually ancient farming quite a bit on Ship 3. So the link will be down below for that. But I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.